This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas. Magazine publisher and entrepreneur Judith Mancini is sharing captivating conversations with experts in their field about the latest trends in our ever-changing world to help you become healthy, wealthy, and wise. Judith Mancini today will spark your interest and inspire you to lead your best life ever. And now, here's Judith.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Judith Mancini today. Thanks for tuning in. We have kind of a different show today. I'm not going to be teaching you a lot of things, and I'm not going to talk about all the devastating news that has been happening, unfortunately. So we're going to just move right on. And if you didn't have a chance to see the title on my post that I always post the night before and the day of, let me read to you what my title is. New Year, Same You, Stronger in 2026. No resolutions, pressure, or fixing yourself. This is a calling for a gentle pause and a look back with a steady look forward. So many tragic and frightening recent events. It's hard to keep them out of your mind. It's hard to even sleep at night without having a problem of recounting the news of the day. So with a steady look forward, many tragic events, we need to put those behind us and look forward with hope, kindness, peace, and gratitude for the years ahead. I'm feeling nostalgic also. So I'm going to tell you some other things that I thought about. As I said, it's not a program about sitting down and having me tell you to write your resolutions, which I don't believe in doing, as you know, or your goals, which I still don't believe in doing. That's for another time. I want you to forget about the pressure or fixing yourself where you think you might be procrastinating or doing something like that. We're going to be kind to ourselves today and kind to others. Let's look back and let's look forward to what we hope will happen. This past year seems to have gone very fast for me. I don't know if it has for you, but it seems like just yesterday we were saying, welcome 2025. This is going to be a great year. And then President Trump got into office, and lo and behold, he's fulfilled all of his promises. He's still working on getting us checks. He's still working on lowering the cost of health care. They were up trying to vote last night. So let's think about the good things that have happened. When the news came out today about inflation being much lower and people being employed and wages going up, and the price of gasoline going down. Well, boy, can we use that in California. Problem is Newsom keeps taxing us more and more. But we're also talking about what he's done worldwide with world peace and how he's keeping us safe by taking and making sure that our borders are closed and that drugs are being stopped from the cartels in Venezuela. And 8 wars canceled and peace reigning in the Middle East in most places. 8 wars. Can you imagine? We are truly a great nation when we help our neighbors like that also. It's been kind of confusing, though, too. We think we have the greatest FBI and the greatest security around different things, but we can't believe that with the way the shooting at Brown University is happening. And we grieve for those who have lost friends and children. The same with yesterday, laying to rest the National Guard members who were shot. It's just been a very tough year, even with all the wonderful things that have happened. So if you're confused, I can't blame you. That's why I don't want to give you a lot of things to think about today. I want you to take the time off. And you won't be seeing me until January 8th because all the important holidays fall on my show day. So I'm getting extra days off. Spending it with family, that would be really wonderful. I want you to think about what you want to feel in 2026. Yes, that sounds a little wacky, but I know you've been despondent and frightened and confused and worried through 2025, even though when the good news came, it was wonderful news and we were happy and thinking everything's going to work out fine. And I think it is, but the emotions and your thinking and all has been confused and going up and down and up and down. So what do you want to feel more of in 2026? In 2026, I have a whole bunch of things that I'm looking forward to, and I'll tell that to you a little bit later. But let's continue looking back at 2025. I think I might get a new laptop so I don't have the binging going on all the time that I can't get rid of. Okay, so let's look back at 2026 like we were just doing and thinking kindly of the good things that happened. Not critically, not criticizing people in Congress. We have our own opinions. We know who is responsible for the inflation. We know who's responsible for bringing millions of terrorists into our country who seem to be becoming activated now. Let's just look back at the kind things that happened. What did happen that was kind? Can you think of anything? I'll tell you what, I can think of my biggest thing that happened because I've had a rough couple of years, like a lot of people. Joining LifeWave as now a one-star brand manager. Yay! I have met the nicest, kindest, most caring people in a business that I've ever met before. And I cherish that. They've lifted me up when I'm getting down because I'm not moving along as fast as I would like to. They are just unbelievable people. When somebody becomes ill and needs to be helped, they help them with the patches, or if they actually have to go have something removed for cancer, they're there. They're there for everybody. It's an amazing, amazing company. So I'm full of gratitude and thankfulness for that big event in my life. Well, I'm noticing these changes too. When I was writing this up, I was thinking, but we've changed personally also. And as we get to be 50 and above, it's not hard to see the physical changes in our bodies. More lines. Look at my cursor. It's on my head. I don't know if you can see that. It shouldn't be there. But I have lines on my forehead now. I have lines on my face. I put the moisturizer on. And there's plenty of wonderful things that you can do these days besides facelifts. You can do the things like Botox and all. Whatever you're doing, please vet it before you do it. See if you're allergic to Botox. See if red light therapy is the right thing for you. We'll talk more about that when I'm telling you more about LifeWave at the end of the show. But, you pack on a few pounds if you're not trying to keep yourself healthy and doing some walking and stretching and other exercise. And not only does that help your physical health, but that helps your mental health. So when you're getting very frustrated, like I was the other day about something that wasn't going right, and I said, okay, Lou, I have to go take a short walk. Now, Lou doesn't walk very well anymore, so he doesn't go with me on the walks, although he should, because this is his circulation. But I just have to get outside and have some fresh air and clear my head. And I'm so grateful that we live in an area where I can just take these little short walks, come back. I could take a longer walk and come back. And it clears my mind and makes me relax. So I also pray a lot. And I've been praying extra prayers for the people that have been victims of what is going on in our country. And I was talking to my daughter yesterday, who lives up north of us. And I said, if something should happen to me, with all the things that you will inherit and all, please don't get rid of my Bibles that I started getting as gifts when I was in elementary school. I completed my first year of elementary school where they presented Bibles, and immediately I started underlining and writing myself notes and sticking them in there. And now I have taken to putting valuable pieces of paper in my Bible. They're valuable to me. They're little notes from people, poem that somebody wrote me, pictures of our family together before I lost my son. All sorts of things are in my Bibles. My most precious Bible was awarded to me in elementary school. I think when we graduated from 5th or 6th grade, I can't recall exactly the timing. But then I received another Bible, several other Bibles through the years. One of my other Bibles is a teaching Bible that one of my very dearest and longest in years gave me. As we were discussing God, we're both believers and talk about God and Jesus quite a bit. She lives now in Texas. We met here in Los Angeles, and we had a ball together all the time, but we talked about our religion and our faith. And that drew us closer together, and she gave me a beautiful Bible that I use today. And then Lou's father gave me a Bible when he was dying of lung cancer in St. Petersburg, Florida, where Lou's family lived, and Lou and I had a home down there at one time. His dad, that I called him Dad myself, because I haven't had a dad for many years here on earth. So I called him Dad, and we were very close. And he took me into a little room off of the living room, like a little den, and sat me down, and he said, I'm not going to make it, and I want you to have this. And he gave me his Bible, and I cherish that. And I could go on and on. After 9/11, we were in London. We were on a trip. We were supposed to be on a 6-week trip all over. 9/11 happened. And we finally made our way after that to London and stayed at the Lanesborough. And when I was checking out, I said to the receptionist there, I said, this has just been horrible. We love it here so much, but I've been praying and reading the Bible, and it's frightening getting on an airplane, not knowing if you'll be shot out of the sky and not see your family again. She said, here, I want you to take this. And it was nothing more or more beautiful than just a Gideon Bible that the Gideons put in every hotel and in every room. And it says right on the Bible, please leave the Bible for the next visitor. This receptionist gave me that Bible, and I held it on my lap all the way from London to New York and from New York to Los Angeles. And then again, I underlined and I wrote little notes to myself. Those are my most precious Bibles, other than a small book that my daughter gave me with sayings from Jesus. And that goes by the month, and I cherish that also. So those are my grateful things for me. You can make your own list. I think doing something like that gives you peace. And so the two things I'm talking about right now are getting out in nature, taking a walk, calming down, and doing something for your faith. If you're not into Christianity or Buddhism or being Jewish, they're more structured and they help you, but you can also meditate. Last night, I was in a meeting celebrating things with my group, and it was called, I can't even remember the name of it right now. I'll have to tell you and look it up here. It was very interesting. It was more like meditation, but it was very relaxing and calmed everybody down. It was quite interesting. I'm always interested in other person's beliefs, religious beliefs, and how they get along. Like Buddhism, you can think of a lot of people who practice Buddhism and wonderful sayings and thoughts and all. So I never criticize anybody for their religion. I'm a Christian. That's my belief, and you can have your belief and share it. And that's what's wrong in the Middle East. They don't respect each other's religions, and I have to say it's the Muslims. And now we have Muslim terrorists here. And that is something you all need to study. And maybe because we don't have a lot going on between Christmas and New Year's, maybe you want to look things up on the internet, whatever, and discover what Muslim is and the ones that are staunchly against Christians and Jews, and learn about it, okay? All right, so that is peace that passeth all understanding. The other thing I want you to think about is your health, and we've talked about that, how your walking can help your physical and your mental health. It should become a habit to you, because when it does, you know that if some phone call in the morning before you go to work or before you get the kids off to school, or now that we're in our 70s, before you have your plans for the day and a phone call gets you all upset, you know that you need to get your mental health straightened out so you can do your physical and your mental health habits at the same time you're walking. Now, I like to start my day living in the desert. We have a funny time zone. It's the regular Pacific time, but we live in the Coachella Valley and we're surrounded by these mountains. So the sun comes up and goes down at the times it's supposed to, but because it goes beyond these mountains, it gets light later than usual, and it gets dark earlier than usual also. So I like to go out when the sun is coming up, and I found I'm not really going out at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm going out at 7 or 8. So it's nice to be retired and all. Oh, I'm not retired. So, but it's nice to be older and have your own time schedule so you can do these things on your own time. And now I think what we should discuss is what we really want 2026 should be like. And in my mind, I want more simplicity, meaning if I want to take some time off and sit and read a book, it's on my schedule, not on somebody else's. Stability, having the funds in retirement to live the way I like, or to know how to scale back and change your spending habits. I think everybody can look at those things and say, isn't it nice that I have extra time and I can figure out what my purpose in life is and what my meaning in life is? And I think a lot of you know that your purpose in life is to be here for your family and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren. One of these people I know, my dearest friends, who now live in Arizona in an assisted living home, just had their first great grandbaby. And I was so thrilled. They sent this out on a Christmas card, and I'm going to call them a little bit later today. And they're both having some challenges, but they've both lived very nicely to an older age and together. So that is one of the blessings, that they are together and their daughter is close by. So everybody's life has to change. We downsized, they downsized. They're in assisted living. We're not yet, knock on wood. We could be. I know one thing, I won't be living in the desert as I grow older, and probably my husband will predecease me with his circulation problem. I certainly hope not, but we are not the ones who choose. God is. So I will probably move closer to my daughter. Now, I have friends down here, and I think I've told you before, I love these friends down here, but having a week of grieving, many months, 5 years of grieving for my son has taken a toll on me. And I never do this, but if you listen to some of the podcasts, there's a man whose last name is Kessler. I think it's David Kessler. He has the study of grief and how you get through grief. And what he was saying is something you might want to look. I will figure out and put on my Facebook page, Judith Mancini, today, what his name is, because I was just glancing at things in the middle of the night last night, and I can't remember everything I wanted to write down, and I should have written it down, but I didn't have my pad of paper and my pen, and I didn't want to get out of bed. That's something you all should have next to your bed, is a pad of paper and a pen to always write down your thoughts that you don't want to forget. We don't want any more dramatic changes. And I mean, like, we don't want any more bombings and shootings at universities or bombings of buildings. You know, even here in Little Palm Springs, last year we had a bombing of a fertility clinic, and it's just being reopened, and the buildings around it being reopened, the businesses. There is no place that is totally safe anymore because we have so many foreign terrorists in this country. Hopefully this is getting straightened out. So I have put together 4 pillars or thoughts about what you can do in 2026. And if you put these in your head, it's like a goal or a resolution, but it's something that may help you march through the beginning of 2026 and put more substantial plans in place. All right. My first pillar is your body, and I've been talking about that throughout the podcasts. So I want you to decide how you're going to exercise and keep your body moving. And the first one, I'll tell you what I focus on, is walking, as I told you. And balance. Balance comes along with your walking. My girlfriends told me to quit wearing high heels. I used to wear 4.5 inch high heels all the time. It made me feel better because I was taller. It made me feel more svelte because I felt thinner. And I just love shoes. But I stopped wearing them because everybody said, you're going to fall down and you have osteoporosis. And I don't believe I have osteoporosis, to tell you the truth. I'll know when I break a bone, but hopefully not. I should have never done it because you need your balance in older age. Notice I didn't say old age. As you're aging, you need balance. So if you're in your 50s, or your late 40s and 50s, and your girlfriends start telling you to quit wearing high heels, don't listen to them. There are plenty of shoes out there with high heels on them that have thicker heels on them. You don't have to wear stilettos, although you could if you're really into balance. Just think about it. Think about how you want to look, which happens to kind of make you feel all over. So remember to get enough sleep, hydration, and that doesn't mean guzzling down one bottle of water or we're getting the plastics in it. But try to do something that has a little salt in it. Even if you give a pinch or two of sea salt in your water, that's going to help you with your electrolytes and your hydration in your whole body. Okay? That's what we want you to do. Stay hydrated, but with your electrolytes and all of that. Now, pillar 2 is your mind. You need to keep your mind active. And you can't keep your mind active if you're sitting there watching soap operas. I don't even know if they have soap operas anymore. Watching that kind of television and watching the news all day, unless you're in the biz, you don't want to hear it all day. You want to get out and talk to people and learn something. So when was the last time you went to a museum? The last time I went to visit a museum was with my grandkids when we went up to visit about 5 months ago, something like that. We don't get up there as much as I want. But we went to 2 museums, the regular museum and the other museum that has the dinosaurs and things in it. And that one is attached to a zoo. So that was great fun. But now we're going up to the Santa Barbara area, and they're having a wonderful, wonderful exhibit at the Art Museum of Matisse and Van Gogh and some others. And I'd love to go see that. And I'd love to expose my 7 and 11-year-old grandsons to this too. So there's all kinds of museums. And if you're still in the Los Angeles area, why don't you go see what they have at their art museum? It's fabulous. And of course, we have the Natural History Museum, all sorts of things. And most big cities do have museums. Or why don't you go see some of the presidential libraries? Now, I would have never thought to go visit the Nixon Library here in the greater Los Angeles area, because quite frankly, I was mad at him. Even though I'm a Republican, I don't respect him for what he did. But needless to say, I was in a group where I was the president and they wanted to go, so I went. And it was quite interesting. You do learn some things. So there's all types of museums and you can learn something. And next time you pick up a book to read, why don't you read it on something interesting? You know what I'm reading? I know it sounds really crazy, but I'm very interested in the Second World War because my father was in the Pacific and he did come home. But he came home a changed man. And I've always been interested in it. And years ago, I bought some of Bill O'Reilly's books, and I haven't been very good about reading them very fast because my life goes too fast. So this, I'm just finishing up Bill O'Reilly's book about Japan, the war in Japan, and what was going on, and the different players in it, like MacArthur and people like that, Truman. So you can learn things. And then I pick up books and try to learn about other things too. I look at some books that will describe to me what is going on with AI. My feelings about AI are still not where I want to see it go like this. Today on the news, I saw robots that they were showing, and one was supposed to be dancing. I couldn't quite figure out what the dance was. Her arm went up like this, kept going up like this. By the way, you see this patch on here? That's one of the LifeWave patches. It's Eon. And this is the one that calms me down, calms my racing mind. So I put that on in the mornings when I'm feeling anxious. And needless to say, I am feeling anxious about some of the things that are going on. Not with me personally, with our country. So that's what I want you to do. You see some people that are going walking in the nature and the parks, the national parks, the state parks and things. And I've already told you about all the wonderful parks in Pittsburgh. So you probably have great parks. We have a great one called Griffith Park by Los Angeles. And then we have smaller ones than that. But I grew up going to Griffith Park all the time, and the zoo moved there. So it's an interesting place. Go see some of your local museums down here in the desert. We have fabulous museums. We have a Native American museum that's unbelievable. Okay, so think about your money. Honey, I know several of my girlfriends that are really struggling to have a fun and calm life. And it's not because they weren't taking care of their money. It's because of the different things that happened. And maybe they invested in the wrong money market fund, or they bought a stock that wasn't right for them. Sometimes you need to really sit down with your financial planner or get one. And you need to be quite frank with them. Don't say, I want a stock that may or may not go up. You need to have serious things for your retirement. And it's a stated fact that the men predecease women in the majority. So you better know what's going on in your own life. And now next week, actually after December 8th, that's my first show afterwards, we'll be talking about side hustles that you can do. You don't need to go stand on your feet all day at Trader Joe's running the cash register or stocking shelves. Now, that's an honorable job, but it's a little hard on your body when you're in your 70s. So there's things you can do with your computer. One of them could be write your memories for your grandchildren, your children and your grandchildren. How about that? Write a book. Start out with pen and paper, get it on your laptop or your phone or whatever, make an outline. They'd love to know what you did when you were growing up as a little girl or a little boy. I think you could do one thing in this day and age to help your bank balance is go on the internet on your laptop and go through subscriptions or the app store, which is on your computer, and see what apps you have that you don't need, that you're probably paying for. And the same thing with your subscriptions. different things. The other one, besides cleaning that up and getting rid of them, because all of them are $20 a month or $150 a month, you'd probably have forgotten all the subscriptions you have. The other one is going through your television providers like Spectrum, Roku. I don't even know them all. You have to get them now for all the digital televisions. They're expensive. Maybe you don't need the one that has football on it because you aren't the football watcher. Now, me, I like football, but I don't have the subscription. You can individually subscribe to certain football games and just watch that. So go over those. You have hidden fees that you probably have totally forgotten about. So go through them and clean them up. And do this periodically. And look at your emails and see that you're not being hacked. I've been hacked so many times, and I look at my emails and I don't know how they get in here. I don't know if they're going through the bank or through me. I've had to close accounts and reopen them. It's a bummer. I keep getting them from Best Buy. I went into Best Buy last summer because something wasn't working for my husband on his phone. And we happened to be close by, so I went in there and the guy fixed it immediately. There was nobody around. The store was practically empty, so he was able to fix it right away. Well, I think he was a very honest person. He seemed to be very nice. I don't know. I've never seen him before in my life. I've never seen him since. But shortly after that, I started getting invoices from Best Buy. Well, I consulted with my incognito who looks and tells me things. And sure enough, I was being tracked by somebody there and got rid of that. And so closed that. But I got another one today from somebody in some foreign country. So delete it, get rid of it, get it off your laptop, your computer, whatever, your phone, as soon as possible. Phew. There's a lot out there to protect yourself from, I'm telling you. I went into Walmart. There's one not too far from us. It's an interesting phenomenon in the desert. A lot of the fuel gas for gas stations and all are owned on Indian land. And so there's a big competition. Now, if you go to an Arco station, gas here is like $5.29 or something a gallon for premium. And if you go to one of the Indian stations, they are more gracious and they're lower. And so is Walmart, to something like $3 or $4.49. Governor Newsom can't tell the Indian stations what they should charge for the gas. I don't believe, because they own the land, they own the fuel. It has its big advantages. So look at those kind of things and see if you can't go someplace to get your gas down a little bit. I saw it in some place in the country, it was $1 or something. I don't know if that was regular or premium, what have you. Most cars now are using premium or they're electric. Next, I want you to think about your connections and your purpose and your friends. Think about one person who really needs a friend, really needs you, and they've been friends for years, and how you can help them. I'm telling you, I haven't even been talking to my friends down here, and I know some of them really need a friend to talk to. We've been here just a little over 2 years. And in that amount of time, I've lost 7 friends, died. That's what I mean by lost. I lost them. They went on to a better place. I can't tell you, on top of losing my son, how devastating it is also losing friends. And to think about the last phone call you had with them or the last time you went to lunch. It's tragic. It's tragic. We all know, we're all pretty much of the same mind and believe in the hereafter with Jesus, but it is still devastating because you don't see them physically and you can't talk to them physically, but you can talk to them in your head. I talk to my son all the time. Hey, Matt, I miss you today more than yesterday. All the time. And that will help you, but it will help the others. But if they're doing okay and they're at home and they need somebody to talk to, you pick up that phone. Don't be like me and not pick it up for months at a time. And you need them and they need you. Okay? So think about that. That's one person you're going to nurture in the coming 2026. And I want you to, I guess I do want you to make a little list. Excuse me, my nose is tickling with all the dust down here. Take a few minutes out of your day, and I want you to think about a plan for 2026, but I don't mean specific goals like I'm going to make in the first month of 2026 $50,000 being an affiliate marketer. I don't want you to do things like that. You can do them if you want, but that's not what I'm asking you now. I want to feel different things. What do you want to feel? Do you want to feel happy because you get to go see your grandkids? Or do you want to be sad all the time because you can't go see them all the time because they're too far away? Think about that. You know what I want to feel more of in 2026? Love. I don't mean the kind of physical love between a man and a woman. I mean, I think that's wonderful. I love my husband very much and he loves me. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about love all around, like the hippies had. And they sing about it, and we are the world, and the love for people and trying to feed them and get rid of the hate. There's nothing wrong with having opposite political opinions. But when you hate somebody so much that it now has a name, derangement syndrome, this is disgusting. You should have been not liking somebody who tore the borders down and let in all the drugs and all the people. Now, that sounds like a political statement, but I'm just trying to tell you, why don't you think about what you're hating and what you're loving? Don't hate the next door neighbor because of the color of their skin or where they were born. What if they were born in the South and you hated them because you were born in the West? That is stupid, immature, and all it does is create animosity with everybody. Try more love. Love everybody. Think of Beatles songs, things like that, and love everyone. One habit I want you to keep, you think about for yourself. I'm going to think about my personal health because I certainly have not thought about it very much in the last 2 years. So I'm going to make a concerted effort to think about my personal health, and I'm going to walk more. And at the same time I'm going to walk for my physical well-being, I'm going to have it improve my mental health, meaning I hope I'll stop crying every other minute over my son. He wouldn't want me to do that, but I can't help it. And I watch these things on television, and I watch Rob Reiner and his wife being murdered, and the poor son who never ever got the right help that got through to him. Oh, these poor people, all of these people involved in this. And the ones that have been killed by terrorists in our country. Brown University, the National Guard, the man who worked with AI and all, and was shot in his own home. Come on, people, get together. Let's love one another right now. So that's what I'm going to work on there. And the one thing I'm going to be releasing is worry. I worry about everything. My daughter excels in her field of nursing. She's a registered nurse. She has a lot of letters behind her name because she's out of the nursing aspect of it and moving up in administration and all these things. And I worry about her job. Now, why I should worry about her job, I don't know, because this woman that I raised and gave birth to is brilliant. Yeah, I'm bragging. Yeah, she makes more money in a month than I think I ever made in a year. Yes, that's true. Times have changed. And she raises 2 boys, and they're still young. And she has a husband who has his own business, and they're being smart and having some passive income. And so she takes care of that property. And whew, and I thought I was busy running my publishing company, but not like her. And she's highly successful. And I'm so proud of you, Megan. So that's what I want you people to do. Stop worrying. I can take that worry off my list. I don't really know. I need to worry about my newsletter. I'd rather put some energy into that I'm coming out with shortly in the next month or so. For all of you, men and women, on health and other things that will make you happy. But right now, I want to remind you that I'm also involved in LifeWave, LifeWave.com/Judith Mancini. You can go on there and you can see the different things you can do. You can become a preferred customer for our wonderful patches, or you could decide you want to get into the business side of it. Now, there are a lot of people in LifeWave that use it as a side hustle and to get the wholesale prices for the LifeWave patches like this. I know some people who get these infusions of these weird things being put in their arms, and they have to sit there for half an hour, and it's $400, $500, $600 while they're doing it. When you could go to a LifeWave and look at their different patches that they have. Like I always talk about X39 because it's their premier patch, but they also have one for glutathione that boosts your immune system. And I had a little sore throat there for a while, and so I used that, and it's gone. My immune system gets run down because I worry and because I've been grieving. So that helps me. This one, the Eon, calms me down. Now, these are the size of a quarter, and they have a little adhesive around the sides of it. And in the middle is this little patch that gets the stem cells going in your body. By age 25 or so, you've lost over half of your stem cells. And they keep you going because they stimulate the other cells in your body to keep you healthy. So, for about 30 days, and now don't quote me on this, I'm just thinking, X39, once you join, is about $100 and some for 30 days. Why compare it to an infusion where you have to sit still for half an hour or an hour to get something dripping in your arm, and you don't even know what it is? I don't see anything backing up these claims. Now, I want you to also know these are non-transdermal. There's no medication in it. All it does is bring the light from outside into your body. We all have light in our body. It even says that in the Bible. And so the light comes in, it stimulates your stem cells, and your stem cells take this light and stimulate the cells in your body that aren't working, like in your immune system. And I think I've told you, maybe I didn't, maybe I told somebody else, my husband has a circulation problem. And you need your circulation going from your toes to your heart to return the blood that your arteries send down to the rest of your body. So they go through the vein system in your legs to go back up. And his isn't working exactly right because he doesn't exercise. And I'm sorry for him. And I try to get him more, and I take really good care of him. And I found out the other day that this gentleman who was older than my husband, who just turned 80 in this past September, he put one of the X39 patches on his ankle, on his right ankle, on this one, because it was his heart and his veins, he put it on his left ankle or left foot, alternating between them, always staying very hydrated. Well, not only was his circulation better, but in a year, when he went to the cardiologist, his heart was healthy again and no circulation problem. You don't think I ran and got an X39 and slapped it on my husband's foot? I did indeed. And the X39 is, as I said, the premier patch, and that's what you should start with and see what it can do for you. Don't believe me. I'm going to start patching people, yes, but I'm going to start putting on my Judith Mancini Today page some of the testimonials and things that I can put up there and show you what's going on. And if you want to hear about it, you can always reach me at www.life, LIFEWAVE, like the ocean.com/Judith Mancini. But you also can always find me at Judith Mancini at mac.com. That's my personal email I'm giving to you, because I love you all out there, and I thank you, and I want you to have a very, very happy and blessed Christmas and Hanukkah. And I want you all to stay safe and love one another. And don't forget, I won't see you until January 8th, because all these holidays fall on a Thursday. And we will be doing replays. And I have interesting replays that I've given to Juan. So you might want to just go ahead and tune in anyway. And you can always find them on any podcast station platform. Okay, I want to say goodbye to you all. I really appreciate you listening. I hope I've helped you. I'm looking forward to 2026 and some new and exciting things for all of us. And I'm blessed to have you with me. Thank you. And remember, cherish yesterday, dream tomorrow, and live today.